Welcome back to Self. If this is your first episode, expect just that this is Courtney's personal decompression chamber. This is my emotional safe space. For a very long time, I've been looking to partners and places for the freedom and safety of emotion. Excuse me, that was a little hiccup, Bert. Looking for freedom and safety and emotional expression. And I've had it here all along, at least since 2020, because I get to just come here and say the things that need to be said, hear myself say them out loud. And I think I'm a verbal processor. The more I'm able to say things out loud, the more puzzle pieces are able to come together and I'm able to get the message, whatever the message is that's underlying the experience that I'm having. So today I journaled this morning and it felt good at the time to, maybe share this on a podcast episode. I think that other people might be able to find this useful for themselves. Overall, I think that leading with it's not about what Courtney wants was what broke me into this this understanding, this understanding of myself. Because it's not about what I want. And I've been asked before, Courtney, what do you want? And like, I've not been able to answer that question. I've just been like existing, and the things that have happened through me have been happening. What I wanted was to play football. I wanted to make commercials. I wanted to have a girlfriend. I wanted to have a family, right? These are all things that I have wanted, and I've done these things. Um, or like having a family, like I'm part of a family, right? But the thing about the wanting and the desire for things is that I'm learning that it's been very small, and I like what's come out of me writing, and then being able to read what I've written and then put it out here into this out loud journal that is self. So I gave this an interesting title. If you follow me on Instagram and you're here because of that Instagram post, you already know what it is. But you might catch it in the reading. If you do, cool. But I'm gonna make it the title anyway, so you'll have already seen it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the reading, and then I'll just do like a little bit of processing at the end of it after reading it because I wrote it, and I ate breakfast and um, started moving around a little bit. And then the next thing that I wanted to do was read this again and then be able to process it. So let's get into it. All right. It's not about what Courtney wants. Since I've led with this atomic way of living, I recognize just how much pursuing, quote, what I want has in fact created chaos in my life. I wanted to want what others want or what I, quote, should want simply because I want to keep getting what it is that I have from whoever it is that's giving it to me. This way of living was causing drift. Not to say I don't still drift from time to time, but I damn sure consciously more so stabilize my presence, my being, my purpose for more than I unconsciously, or far more, not for more, far more than I unconsciously drift away from it. It's like a very visual thought, breath, a smile, or even just a remembering that serves as an energetic snatching of my presence across all that is pulling presence back into self, into the nucleus of my atomic existence. That is who I am, Courtney Warren Brand. There is so much peace in this way of being, and the pleasures of alignment as I operate from this place are aligned. They're high quality, and they go far beyond the limiting uh, that I receive exclusively through pleasure as I've experienced before now. Masturbation and porn have stopped appealing to me long ago. I believe I still can engage with them, but it's almost like, well, when would I? If I'm living out my atomic purpose and I'm becoming not just curious, creative, and connecting and choice driven, but another C appears to be emerging, and that C word is community, community leader. My sexual expression of energy is fucking potent, right? I do want aligned exchanges and to be able to enhance that with aligned exchange. What? What the hell I write here? I do want aligned exchanges, and to enhance that with aligned exchanges that are present. What did I write? Maybe I wanted to. Okay, I do want aligned exchanges and to enhance those basically through presence. I believe that present sex is what I've been missing, the satisfying energetic exchange of being without any identification with parts, body parts, or actions, or thoughts, or words, but just the cosmic becoming and alignment with atomic nature. I'll use this phrase, nurture your nature. I can probably talk more about that if I need to. But I think about having recently hung out with a very long time partner in the past, and we didn't have sex. It's like that's really what aligned for the moment. And while I wanted to, have the sex when we could, but the moments all called for something else, something more. And while I couldn't really put my finger on what it was at the time, that quote more really was just presence. In our hangouts, the time really flew by, and it was very high quality. It wasn't performing intimacy, it was just presence. It was all presence, no pressure. And it was a kind of presence that the moment seemingly moves through you rather than you moving through the moments. You share these not just with the other person's body, but the force that makes up our individual essence. Shared presence is a unifying threesome. I understand making love to the universe so much more now as I've heard it, and I believe queer people are able to do this without the limitations on identities of who they do or don't engage in sex with, but their intimacy is more expansive beyond how mainstream media pushes the ignorant sex onto us. From this, I see things like playing zombies with my buddy AJ, or Warzone with my friends, or getting drinks with Carl, or working out with CO. These two are moments of shared presence that I used to really undervalue because of my attachment to and my ignorance of presence as a whole. I too have fragmented my identity, and I sought wholeness through the same thing that shattered me, the same pressure I was so reactive to in a state of drift. I did discover power in that power. Oh, wait, hold on. I read that wrong. The same pressure I was so reactive to in the state of drift, I did discover power in. That power I discovered was more potent than any sex I've had, any football games that I've won, any Call of Duty kill streaks that I've called in, or any combination bite of Chinese food that I have ever had. And this presence creates a rhythm that draws into that draw and this presence creates a rhythm that draws into manifestation the experiences, the people, the places, the challenges, opportunities that I may not quote want, but they have to manifest by law. The quality of the manifestations are a result of the rhythm that I hold, aligning my beliefs and behaviors. Environment amplifies or nullifies as it has to, which is why New Jersey and St. Louis have felt invalidating to my core identity as someone, especially who values liberation and challenge. Expressing through curiosity, creativity, connection, choice, and now community, and I put in parentheses, leadership. Presence and aligned engagement are carrying my existence now. Okay, so the title of it, if you didn't pick it up by now, like, or if guess, it's like, oh, it's this. It was that shared presence is a unifying three-way. Now, the reason that I say that is because in those moments of presence, it does feel as if you're not here sometimes, right? Like you're here, but here doesn't feel like what here always normally does, right? Like, yeah, you're in your body, you can taste, hear, touch, see, smell, assuming that, you have all of those senses. But it's almost like there's a sixth, there's a sixth sense that's there just operating underneath the undercurrent that's operating underneath what's happening between you and said other person. Now, this is not to say that you can't have that feeling, that sense of oneness, that presence just alone. You absolutely can. But when it's shared, there's that that they may call it flow state, they may just call it like a sense of oneness, right? But that oneness is like it's a shared experience with the person or the people that you are in sync with energetically, right? It's like you're looking at, atoms behavior, you're orbiting one another in a way that aligns, or you're sharing electrons and experiences, and these are kind of like part of our essence. If we look at what our essence is, if we want to look at the particles, we're made up of neutrons, protons, and electrons. So in some state, or in some states, right, proton being purpose, if we're aligned in whatever the intention is, then this is where there is that presence. So sometimes the intention is just to be exactly where you are. Sometimes the intention is to do the thing that you're doing, right? Sports is a great example of this, because you've got, five in basketball, 11 in football, five in hockey, however many there are in soccer. You've got that many teammates who are on the field at a time, who are present, who have that shared proton, that shared sense of purpose, that shared, higher sense of being. And that is really what it is that puts us into that state of being present. I don't know that I've ever been able to really describe what presence feels like until, I guess, just now, right? Like it just feels like sex. And I think that for most of my life, pursuing sex has been, my therapist asked me this in one of our earliest sessions in like 2020. He was like, when do you feel the most yourself? Is that like when you're having sex? I was like, damn, yeah. Like now I can answer that with so much more confidence, because I do understand that to be true, because there's not been the practice of intimacy outside of that. Like I recognize now that, having played sports and the experiences that I've had with my teammates and the vulnerability shared, like that's been present. But I don't think that it's been um it's not been like, it's not been as present or as vulnerable or opening up as much as you are able to with a sexual experience. And well, with me, I'm speaking for myself, I haven't been able to open up through up outside of sexual experiences. And I don't know if it's just because of the practice of it, or if it's really about, um, or being out of practice of intimacy outside of that, or what. But I will say, like, one thing that really draws me to queer communities and like wanting to be around them, or just liking the spaces, is that this is where I see it demonstrated. I see that platonic intimacy among friendships, among different sex, same sex friendships. And there's like some people that you do have sex with, or some people that you don't have sex with, but there's still like a shared intimacy. There's a shared sense of presence, right? And I don't have that background experience, right? Like you tell your homeboy, it's this TikTok trend that's going on. Don't ask me how I know about this TikTok trend. I think it crept on the Instagram somehow, and is the wives or girlfriends of these black men are recording it while they call their homeboy and tell him good night. And it is so funny. And the reason it's so funny is because it's so real. Like one dude called his boy, he picked up, he's like, hello. He's like, oh yeah, bro, what's good? What's good? He's like, oh man, nothing chilling, man. What's up? What's up? We got this going on, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh shit, man, ain't nothing, get ready for bed. I'll just call to tell you good night, bro. I love you. And the dude on the other side of the phone got quiet. He's like, what? It's a bunch of them, but it's so hilarious to me. But it's true. It's true. Like that's an intimate thing. Like calling your homeboy. Like I'm picturing myself doing it now. Like if I was to call one of my homeboys, be like, yeah, bro, shit, good night, bro. Oh, I get hung up on. But also, I will say that like as I've been living out loud through these vulnerabilities and everything, I think that it's received differently based on just what I'm putting out lately, or how I'm being, the alignment of it. Like me calling my homeboy and saying goodnight, that's weird to them. But like me being like, hey, I just wanted to check up on you. I love you. I hope that things good, right? Like that doesn't feel weird anymore. I would say that in the past, thinking about that felt gay or felt weird. And just from being around queer people, like, I mean, a lot of that gay shit is like what we need. Not to say we, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean that in no sexual way, but what I mean is that the lessons of intimacy that come from queer communities, and I think that's why I'm so like drawn to the sex positive community, is because I'm able to witness and experience that, yeah, maybe sexually, but like how it's rare that the sex is actually like a thing. It's more the education, the conversations, the community, the connection, the shared experiences, the collaborations to making money and putting out useful content, and a accumulated purpose of just overall sexual liberation. And in that sexual liberation, there's also intimacy liberation. And I've experienced it when I went to my first Sex Down South conference in 2023. And I talk about this. Like, I went and I got, what was that thing? I went to Mango Love's workshop. It was something about a black man's body. And I hadn't been around that many black men in any type of sex related space before. And she was like, you know, how many of y'all, she shared with us some statistics of like how we, where we want to be touched, how often we're asked where we're touched, and then like where we're actually touched. And that shit made me almost cry. I was like, damn, all of us are just like getting touched on our chest when somebody riding us and got their nails in our chest. Like, how often are we actually being asked where we like to be touched? Or like, for me, there's this like little spot in my inner, it's not really my inner thighs, but like I guess on my pelvis and the pelvic region around my dick. Like, most of us black men, she said, are touched on like scratches in our back, nails in our chest, lips, and then our dick. Like, this is where we get touched. We got whole ass bodies. And that's that's been a lot of our experiences. And the expansion of what intimacy is, like intimacy is, and vulnerability for me is asking, hey, can you touch me here? Can you touch me like this? I just got a weird sensation just like even saying that out loud. Like, that is uncomfortable. That's vulnerability. That is what opens the door for intimacy. And there's also a fear underneath that, right? Like, I think that I personally have a fear of asking for it and not necessarily being rejected, but almost like just being laughed at for it. Like, yeah, you know, I like this spot next to my dick touched, right? Like, I want this spot next to my balls touched. Like, it's not a genitals thing. And so much of the conditioning that I've experienced, or like the music and everything, it's been, sex is something that we as men do to women. Sex isn't something that happens for us. It's not a shared experience. It's a very absent experience. It's a very drifting experience into absence. There's no consciousness in it. And that's really all drifting is. Drifting is just an accumulation or practice of unconsciousness. And so you begin to sort of arrive into consciousness, and you're like, damn, you know, I don't do that. And then you got a choice. Once you are aware, you got a choice to make. You gonna keep being unaware, or you gonna like awarely continue to do what you've been doing, or awarely make an active change. And so for me, like, I'm really, it's not even, it doesn't even feel active. It just feels aligned. It feels like aligned shifts, because through my drift, through my unconsciousness, I'm able to say, damn, you know what? I don't ask for what I like. And, you know, I said in here in the opening line, it ain't about what Courtney wants. But I will say that since aligning my beliefs and my behaviors, there's a lot of things that I'm finding that I like. And a lot of these things are non-sexual. Like, I'm learning that I like being able to have real and deep conversations with women. Like, a lot of this red pill shit says, you know, oh, you know, women are this. This is how you treat women. And I can't believe that. I can't agree with the shit. I just can't. Like, that's not the kind of relationships that I want to have. And despite like this quote success of the people who, you know, talking about this shit, like, I I don't I don't consider that to be successful. Not at all. Like, I enjoy the quality of the relationships that I've had that, didn't look like that. And as I become more aligned between like my beliefs and my behaviors and shift into more supportive environments that expand on that, or they intensify and amplify like my ability to behave and believe in a way that aligns, or they nullify it, right? So it's really at this point about environment. Like what are my environments, the people around me, the situations that I find myself in, right? Being able to find aligned relationships, connections, spaces, and creating even a space like self right here where it's more about the output, right? Like I tried to do too much when I was like doing from a place of what I wanted or what I thought I wanted. There was no consciousness behind it. Like it was, I'm making a choice, and making a choice ain't all, it ain't all what it's cracked up to be, right? Like the choice really does have to come from a place of alignment in order for it to be a real choice. Because I was choosing to pursue having a family, and I mean the reality is like I've always held this deep rooted belief that maybe I'm not supposed to have a family. I've been trying to create home for myself outside myself. And the only reference point of what home is just what I've seen around me in St. Louis. Like anybody who's left, they've come back. A lot of my friends live in the same areas of where they grew up at. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but like that's what home and family has historically looked like for me. And I think back to when I was in Portland, and there was this older black woman who just fucking looked me into my soul. It was a Halloween, and I think she might have been like a witch, but just like one of them smooth witches, like the Sinner's witch. She was very much giving Sinners. If you ain't seen the movie, go see it. But the black woman in Sinners, that's who she fucking reminded me of. She looked me into my soul and she said, "Courtney, you're not gonna have it easy, bro." Oh my God, I'm finna cry. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. She said, "Courtney, the path that you are taking is one that it's yours. It's not gonna be easy." And when she was saying it, I was like, "Bitch, I know." Like I'm doing it. Like I'm walking it. How you gonna tell me? And she ain't have no advice for me. Shit, she just told me this shit ain't gonna be easy. And you know what she did say that like made me just fucking tear up a little bit though, and I think that that's what it is. The vibe that I got from her was very similar to my grandmother, who her funeral was on my 13th birthday. That's what it was. It felt like her essence coming in and just being like, "Hey, it ain't gonna be easy, but you got this." And this shit get lonely. This shit gets lonely. And I used to operate from a place of fear for a really long time. Fear of said loneliness, fear of like not being able to do what it is that I want to do. But I found so much peace in no longer doing what I want or what I want to do, and doing what, or just not even doing, but being in a way that the present moment is able to just work through me, and like I experience the joys and the pleasures and the outcomes of the alignment. But when I tell you that lady said, she's like, I carry that with you. Like that's the kind of shit I think I'm looking for in my relationship, whatever. Is just like that kind of seeing and visibility and not even recognition, man, but just like, fuck, dude, like it doesn't feel heavy to me, but you don't know how heavy something is until somebody takes a little bit of the load off of you. It's like when you wear ankle weights and you walk all day and then you get home, you take them motherfuckers off and your fucking legs just shoot up into your chest when you walking. And I think that that's what those moments of intimacy just felt like, right? Like just being with a past partner that was not, it wasn't a sexual experience. And even when I was in Houston, I met up with two people, one of which I had on the podcast a long, long time ago in 2020. We got to meet for the first time. And we just went for a walk and talk. And it was just like very pleasant to just like have that intimacy. It felt like someone taking a little bit of the load off of me. And I met up with somebody else, and we went to some gardens. I forgot. My bad if you're listening. Um, but yeah, met up with both of these two women, and like there wasn't any sort of like a agenda or anything. It was just presence, and the time just fucking flew by. And it felt very much like someone just taking a little bit of the load off temporarily. Like, I'm built for it, don't get me wrong. Like, I've recognized that I can extend far beyond my capacity. I am never going to operate at 150% again. And that's just like not my own capacity, but also making an effort to carry the load of significant others. Like, one thing about me that people have brought up that I've talked to is like, Courtney, you love fixing people, you love fixing things. And like, I've made a career out of it. So like, we set up these one-on-one support calls, and that's that. Like, that's the extent of my fixing. But I can't keep doing that. I can't keep trying to do that. And also, like, for so long too, like, I thought, well, damn, I'm broken, maybe I'm broken, something's wrong with me. And it's not that the brokenness isn't the issue. It's been like a lack of awareness to how I'm doing things, because I've been on autopilot for so long. Like, I've unconsciously just been like just showing up for other people, holding a space for other people, at the expense of me, myself, Courtney. It's definitely come at an expense. And damn, like, being able to just name that and say that out loud, like, this is real. That's my truth. My truth is that I have not historically prioritized me, and everything that I've wanted has been outside of me. But then as I started to just look at, okay, Courtney, well, what do you have? Like, I always say this: what you have is what you want, because that's what you're doing, that's what you're operating to keep. And as I look through this journal entry, right? Like, presence isn't about what you want; it's about just the experience of the moment. It is literally the reality manifestation of being. That's how you be, right? Being is really just about being present and just aligned behaviors and beliefs, because what happens is you get that sensation of what to do to move forward, or not even what to do, right? It's just aligned action and engagements. It's aligned engagements. That's what like a presence is. When we talk about what it means to be still, what it means to look inside yourself and all that shit, right? Like, life is about a balance. It's a balance of being able to stabilize and hold true to what your purpose is, in a way that you are organizing all of the things around you. You're not even organizing. All of the things around you do simply fall into place. When people say that, like, this is how atoms work. The neutron stabilizes the proton and it stays within the nucleus. It might, drift out a little bit, but it always finds its way back home. And in doing so, it creates this attractiveness of infinite possibility of experiences. And the longer you maintain that rhythm of stabilizing, the experiences begin to manifest and come into consistent orbit around the nucleus of the atom. So this is how I've been living. I've been living in a way where I'm making aligned, engaged actions, and anything that's not that, like, I'm more cautious with it. I'm curious. I look at it like, okay, this could be something good. This could be something bad. So I'm sitting tight, and this has been some of the hardest time for me, not because I lost my home in a tornado, not because I've been, having to travel and stay with friends, and I haven't really been by myself. Like, now I'm staying in my Airbnb. I'm here for, well, last night and today, and then I leave tomorrow to head out to STI Engage in Phoenix, Arizona. But this has been so hard because I had to learn how to do nothing. And the Bible verse that always stands to me is, be still and know that I am God. And, I ain't really like a religious person, but I can take, a little bit of something from everything and find similarities to it. And so that's really what I found, like, as I've been more conscious of my yoga classes and paying more attention in them. I'm seeing so many similarities in just yoga, and I'm able to put these things into practice for myself and apply it to atomic living. So let me see. Let me check my notes real quick and just make sure that I covered everything. Well, I don't have notes. I just got this. But yeah, the reason that I say shared presence is a unifying three-way or threesome is because that's exactly what it is. Like, we're not doing anything for ourselves, we're not doing anything for the other people. Like, we're just being. And identity validation is really about nurturing the other person's nature through your being. And this is how atoms are drawn to each other. It's like, oh, you cool as fuck. I'm cool as fuck. We cool as fuck. Let's do some cool shit together. Like, let's be cool together. And then you just draw all this shit in. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited. And yeah, I'm grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my strength to be able to carry. Like, other people tell me how heavy it is and shit, and it's like, when you're doing it, you don't know. You don't know. And I, as I've done less, it's not even about doing less. Like, I think I just kind of said, man, you know what, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, I just been like, man, you know what, this is what we gonna do. And that's nothing, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything, because even in those moments where I feel like I need to do something, that creates resistance. It's really been about being, and that being just looks like presence to what the moment is experiencing or creating through. And the shared experiences that I've had lately, again, just hanging out with my buddy and his kid. Like, kids are a great way to be present. I hung out with my friend's 1 year old. We was just sitting on the couch watching a show with a talking bear and a thing that was holding a tomato, and we was just chilling, and it was just so peaceful. That wasn't anything that I tried to do. Like, I was trying to get him to hang out with me. Like, come here, let me pick you up. Can I have a hug? Can I have a five? He loved giving fives, but then he'll give me the five and then run away. I don't think he ever seen nobody this dark before. We was making jokes about that. But yeah, by the end of it, we was homies. And that just came from me being. And yeah, like, I went out to I went out and met up with a friend who was working last night. And when I was there, like, the receptivity of people around me even felt a little bit different based on how, I guess, I carry myself, or I don't know if it's the environment or what. But this lady stopped dead in front of me on her way past me. I don't know if she was with her husband or what. Just fucking stopped, looked me in my eyes, and was like, "Hi." I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, good," and then just like walked off. I was like, "Hey, did you think I was somebody?" I had this old black lady. We went to Texas Roadhouse yesterday too, and she stopped me. She was like, you look like, you know who you look like. People probably tell you all the time." I was like, "Who?" And she was like, I was like, I ain't from around here, because this was in between San Jose and Oakland. And she was like, "You know who it is, Black Panther." I was like, "Ain't nobody ever told me I look like Black Panther." I was thinking Killmonger and T'Challa. I was like, "Ain't nobody ever told me that." She was like, "No, not them, the 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 dude with the hair like yours." I was like, "The hair like mine? What are you talking about?" So we was like, I'm making faces, and we just looking at each other. And then she got I don't know if it was her daughter or something, but it's back there. She's like, "Mama, stop." And I was like, "Oh, you talking about Baku, Winston Duke." It's like, man, I don't look like that, man. But I've heard that before. Um, and then even at the place, like, I went to grab a chair to sit with my friends, like friends that were there. And one of the people I was grabbing a chair was like, "Oh, you're gonna sit with us?" I was like, no. And like, I was just like, I, yeah, it was just like a interesting experience of how the world has been responding to me. I think I mentioned in the last episode that me and my buddy AJ's girlfriend, we manifested cake pops at Starbucks, because we was both standing there, we was looking at them, we wanted a cake pop. But they asked me if I wanted anything. I was like, "Man, I don't want anything. I don't want anything." AJ was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." We got up to the checkout. He was like, "You sure you don't want anything?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Lady hands them their two coffees and then another bag. And guess what was in it? She just threw in a strawberry and a chocolate cake pop. Now, for those who don't know, my favorite, like, dessert is anything that's like strawberry, or I like cookies and cream, or cookie dough, cookies and cream. But like, the number one is like strawberry shortcake, strawberry. My ex had made this strawberry. Oreo with the vanilla Oreos, tres leches. That shit was fire. And that and like the strawberry cheesecake Ben and Jerry's, that's my shit. So when I saw the strawberry cake pop, I looked and I was like, oh, maybe it was something in my face the lady saw. I was like, a strawberry cake pop at Starbucks? I wonder if it tastes like strawberry. Oh, it's like they made it look like a strawberry, so it's probably got like a strawberry cake in the middle that's all like dense and moist and but yeah, manifested cake pops. um but okay, I need to go ahead and get out of here. I thought this would be like 20 minutes, but I'm thankful for whoever it is that's listening. I appreciate you. And yeah, it's been nice to be able to just like share vulnerably here without the expectation of like performing or trying to say the right shit or avoiding saying the wrong shit. And I look forward to continuing to be able to do that here. Um, what else? Yeah, that's it, really. All right. Stay present.